It's a story where the newspaper editor had the audacity to ask the town's favorite politician during the campaign where he stood on the issue of whiskey. Now, the answer to this question was always a situation of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because it was an issue that seemed to divide every community 50-50. I always loved how he responded because I thought he did it in a very elegant manner. He said, "Sir, I had not planned to discuss such a controversial issue at this time. But far be it from me to sidestep any issue, regardless of the nature and regardless of the consequences. But first, I want to be sure that I understand you now, sir. And sir, when you say whiskey, if you mean the devil's brew, that poisonous scourge, that bloody monster that defiles innocence, dethrones reason, creates misery and poverty, and takes the very bread out of the mouth of babes. Sir, if when you say whiskey, if you mean that vile drink that topples the Christian man and woman from the very pinnacle of righteous and gracious living into the bottomless pit of despair, degradation, shame, hopelessness and helplessness, destroys homes, creates orphans, and depraves the community in general. Sir, if that's what you mean by whiskey, I want you to put in your paper, I promise my constituents, if I'm elected, I'll fight to destroy this demon with all the strength I possess. However, on the other hand, if when you say whiskey, if you mean that oil of conversation, if you mean that philosophic wine and ale which is consumed when good friends get together, puts a song in their heart, laughter on their lips, warm contentment in their eyes, sir, if you mean that blessed substance which enables a poor man to embrace the few little pleasures of this earth, and to forget, if only for a moment, the heartaches, trials, and tribulations of this world, sir. If you mean that medicinal spirit that puts a spring in the old man's step on a frosty morn, if you mean that nectar of the gods, the sale of which puts untold millions in our treasuries, provides tender care for little orphan children, blind and the deaf, aged and infirm, builds highways, hospitals, schools, and makes this world a better place in which to live. Sir, if that's what you mean by whiskey, I want you to put in your paper, I promise my constituents, if I'm elected, I'll fight to protect this essence of divinity with all the strength I possess. First time I told that story, I sat down, the host got up on the platform, he looked out at the audience, looked down at me, looked back out at the audience, and said, "I did not know I'd come to a revival." He said, "I sort of feel like the monkey making love to the skunk." He said, "I don't know if I've had all I want, but I've had all I can stand." I thought his material's better than mine.